Hello, my name's Mark Abraham. I work for the Crefftwr neu Brentis and I'm the construction supervisor working down and looking after the team in South Wales. To understand this project, you can understand it right from the outset. This was an opportunity to let Liam and Rachel run the project themselves. So they had a mentor in myself and the skilled masons, but they truly took it in their own hands to do the actual bridge reconstruction again.
I'm in my second year of my apprenticeship with the Crefftwr neu Brentis as a heritage craft mason.
So I've been working at the Crefftwr neu Brentis for 6 years. I started off as a bricklaying apprenticeship.
We have a lot of very skilled people at college who've got a lot of knowledge and practical skill they can give us. But with a job like this aqueduct, we had to problem solve on a daily basis.
When we took it down, because the wall was on a lean, we had to bring it back in, which obviously meant the top of the wall ended up very thin, too thin to put a coping stone on.
We're not using power tools, we're using hand tools, we're going back to basics and doing things properly.
We followed the original footing, which actually turned out to be curved. So you can see it down the wall, curves in and out. The curve gives a lovely organic feel to the aqueduct.
Beautiful. When we first started off as a small project, and we realised that it was so badly repaired in the past, we had to put it back. We had the duty to put it back to its original form.
This aqueduct was built in 1799, and having been able to restore this now, I hope that my work will stay here for another 100 years.
So I'm proud that they achieved this magnificent structure back to its former glory. And I'm so pleased and honoured that I can say to my children, to my grandchildren, I did part of this.
The furniture had been left in the house, which was pretty much unheated and certainly unlived in. So it was damp, dirty. These had all been falling off over the years, and Gerald had been keeping them in what is now the famous OXO box. So when I got here, this was full of little bits and pieces. So for a fortnight, I very quietly worked out where each and every piece came from and quietly glued them back on. Having carried out those initial works, I went away for a couple of years while the HLF funding and things like that were organised, and was then brought back in to do the major repairs. And what they consisted of was mostly work to these two dragons, which had become damaged. You can see how delicate they are. I didn't feel I was able to do that kind of involved work in the house. So we had a long discussion then to convince Gorau to let us actually remove the chair from the house and move it down to South Wales to my workshop near Carmarthen. Because there was a shortage of timber during the First World War, all the oak had been taken to the trenches. Gerald had maintained that the chair is built from reclaimed timber from an abbey on the outskirts of Llangollen. In my work on the dragon, I had to remove certain bits of wood. Lo and behold, I found charred timber, and there was also deathwatch beetle, evidence of deathwatch beetle. If the timber is indeed that 700 years old, that's 700 years of shrinking and hardening, and that probably is the secret of how Eugene van Vletteren managed to achieve such detail. There's no doubt this is the most intense piece of oak carving I've ever seen, I think anyone has ever done.
With this project, the idea was we really wanted to bring archaeology out to St Fagans, and that way we can go all the way back in time in history in Wales. So this was much more of an archaeology project and is based on archaeological ruins in Llys Rhostir on Anglesey. The actual building was demolished in 1282, so you know, there's very little that remains, but we were lucky enough to have some apprentices work with us to help build it.
I seen the advert, it's been about 4.5 years ago, for a bursary scheme, something similar to what the museum offer, and I thought what an opportunity.
I started out labouring for stonemasons for 10 years. And always wanted to become one, always looked up to him kind of thing, and finally got offered the opportunity here at St Fagans to do it.
The apprentices arrived 4th of August 2014, and on that day we received the first delivery of stone. We've got the foundations in ready, but it's very exciting for us to start.
Well, really we had a small team, so I had 2 or 3 mentors with me really, sort of shadowing me, so that really helped. So if I was ever struggling or think this isn't quite looking right, I'd always have someone on my shoulder to sort of guide me in the right direction, really.
Coming here every week to know what you were going to be doing, because the work here is fantastic. We chip in everywhere from the roof, the floor work, every single bit would have been done by us. Learned a lot.
I built, taken part in all the stonework, the arches, the reveals. Everything you see before you, the floor, I've done the thresholds, fireplace, I've taken part in the whole structure.
Well, yeah, we've done these walls, so we know how strong they are. I could drive a car straight into this and wouldn't do nothing to the wall, basically. Built to last, just like the old days.
I'd like to stay here. I really, really don't want to leave this place.
We also need them to be able to pave, tile, plaster and roof, so their training will continue for several years, really. But yeah, we're grateful to have them.